Ooh. You know, on one way, it's like you want to smack Diane in the mouth, but in the other way, it's like I admire her so much. Bruh, that is the game 101. You heard me? And Beyonce followed that motherfucker to a T. Already done so, please remember to like. I require now at a minimum 650 likes. Book club, you have no idea how it helps our channel when it's in the algorithm. It pushes us further, and that's what we need, because we want our book club to be the #1 book club on YouTube, okay? And I know that we all are going to feel so good because we're going to remember these humble beginnings, okay? Guys, we're doing decent, you know, but I know we can do so much better. So like I said, those likes mean so much. Thank you all for your help in growing this channel. Now, if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about Mary Wilson's DreamGirl, My Life as a Supreme, Part 6. So where we left off, okay, we had permission from all the girls' parents of the Primettes to run down there to this dude Milton house, or Milton Suite / extended stay over there on Hastings. The Primettes consist of Betty, okay, that is Paul Williams' girlfriend, okay, Flo, and Mary and Diane. It's not yet Diana, okay, but it's Diane, okay. Well, that's what the Lady Murray say, that the lady name is actually Diane, okay. So they calling her Diane, all right. They ain't like, I'm not falling for that Diana Bullsnick, okay. That's what you call her, okay. Her name Diane. Now Flo and Betty, looking at the two younger girls, that would be Diane and Mary, saying, we in charge, okay? Because we, the older two girls, plus we look like grown-ass women because we got hips, ass, and titties already. Not a problem, okay? Not a problem with me, okay? I've always had boobs. I swear for goodness. I went from a training bra to a size D, just like that, okay? I mean, it was like, Joe, what is going on? Mama, you might need to buy me a bra because something's not right, okay? Because these boobs is falling out the bottom, mommy. I need a bra. Okay. By the time I was 13, I swear I was in a size C. Okay, 14D. I didn't had boobs my whole life. That's why I'm getting a reduction. Because Flo and Betty created a friendship. You know, they had something in common, their age, because I think they were 15 or 16. Mary and Diane, because they were the youngest, they both was either 13 or 14, something like that. But they was only like 1 year younger than Flo and Betty. How dare you try to be my mammy around here, bitch? You only 1 year older than me. Because they were the youngest and, you know, they were together, they formed a relationship. Just as there had been a strong, instantaneous affinity between me and Flo, Diane and I got along from the start too. But somehow our relationship was different. Now, Mary Wilson, like myself, is into zodiacs, right? And she attributes the differences to the zodiac signs, okay? She says because Mary Wilson is a Pisces and Diane is an Aries, they were very different, okay? Diane was a natural, aggressive, go-getter, leader type person. She was there to conquer, okay? Mary Wilson, because Pisces are more creative. You know, they enjoy the beauties of life. Okay. They can sit back, relax, chill, and just absorb energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate to say this, but a lot of Pisces are empaths. You know, you people that be like, oh, I'm an empath. I'm an empath. Y'all bitches ain't empath. Everybody can't be a damn empath. Okay. But Pisces, y'all are the true empaths of the universe. Aries people are also considered natural leaders and very independent. She was always very energetic and talkative. I really admired her. In her, I found a missing part of myself, a more aggressive side I could never express comfortably. Diane was a wonderful friend. What she said was that, you know, sometimes she would just be sitting around in the house and Diane would come over, knock on the door. Hey, girl, come on, we about to go do You know, Diane gave her that push to be out in the world, to explore, to be that person to want to be in the middle of the action. Diane was Fred and Ernestine Ross's second of 6 children and second daughter. The Rosses had moved to Detroit from Alabama seeking a better life. Fred Ross worked at the American Brass Company. After he was secure in his job, he and Ernestine started their own family. Proudly old-fashioned, he refused to let his wife work outside the home. So to make ends meet, he always had a second job working nights as a mechanic. Okay? Now, this is what Mary Wilson said about Diane's house. Okay? It was different from Flo's house. Flo's family, all 97 of them, they were taught family first. What Mary Wilson said about Diane's family was that each child was groomed to achieve success individually, to look out for themselves, period. Okay? You got your brother over there. Yeah, I know my brother smoking crack. Okay? But I'm over here, I'm trying to spin these records, okay? I don't have time to go over there and stop my brother from smoking crack, okay? I'll be over there later, check on him, but right now I need to spin these records. Before long, Diane, Flo, and I were best of friends. Almost every day, I'd look out my window and see Diane. Then I'd run outside and we'd do something. We were no longer just passing acquaintances. Later, she'd come running over to my house. As time passed, even Roosevelt, that would be Mary's little brother, and Kat, that would be her little sister, would have best friends in both the Ross and Ballard families. Of course, we were all obsessed by music. Now, let me tell you what these hot pussies did, okay? All right, so they over there to the Milton house. That's the manager, okay, of the Primes and the Primettes, okay? They over there to Milton's, not house, the room girl, the room, okay? His bachelor suite girl, okay? So they sitting up in the window looking down upon Hastings Street, all right? And they said they would love to do this because they could see the many famous people coming to or going to this club called The Flame that would house so many stars, celebrities in the music business, okay? She talked about one time seeing Sam Cooke, okay? Then she saw this other dude who worked in the club, but he worked as a musician, okay? His name, I forgot his name, but one day they were sitting on a pane, okay, or in the bay window or whatever. You know how back in the day you used to put your ass on a pane and yell out the window, hey you, can you play that guitar? Yeah, I can play it. Well, come on up here and show me you can play the guitar. Now, I know what that nigga got upstairs. He wasn't thinking that for real. They wanted him to play the guitar, okay? Because, you know, a girl invites you upstairs. She got her ass hanging out the window, okay? You thinking, well, I'm going to play with something all right. Once we realized what we'd done, and Marvin, that's the dude named with the guitar. That's the guitar man. Marvin was on his way up. We began to giggle nervously, not certain this was the right thing. He seemed genuinely sweet. He was tall, lanky, somewhat funny looking, and Marvin was always soft-spoken and just too nice. I recognized him from school. So he's a young person also, right? Now, one thing that I will say about Detroit that we have in common in D.C., okay? D.C. is very musically inclined, all right? Listen, Benta, the person who does our intro song, Her son, like, been playing the drums or been a percussionist, not because he went to school, but he's been a percussionist since he's like 7. Marvin upstairs, okay? He realized, okay, I ain't gonna get no vagina, so let me play this guitar for real. Ding, 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 ding. And without a discussion or anything, Marvin became a member of the Primes, just like that. Before we had Marvin, the Primes arranged our harmonies. For the reason alone, none of us ever had to learn to read music. Okay? We did everything by sound. Marvin read music, and so he could teach us any song. Having our own musician made us unique among the other local singing groups. From the start, Flo took most of the leads, singing in her warm gospel-tinged style. Her raw spirit was always the soul of the Primettes. It all seemed so easy for her. In the beginning, a concerned Milton attended every rehearsal, making sure that we had everything that we needed. Some days, Milton would pick us up at our house and drive us to rehearsal in the Cadillac. The minute he pulled up, everyone on our block gathered around, wondering, who is that? Why is he here? What them girls doing with that nigga? Though Milton seemed to have more than his share of beautiful, sexy girlfriends, we attributed his success with the ladies to his handsome face and irresistible charm. Sound like a Leo. Watch that nigga. When it came to us, however, Milton was always a perfect gentleman, sometimes acting as if we were his daughters. Look at those girls. Those are my girls, he would say proudly to anyone around. That's a relief. That's a relief, because, I'm so happy to hear that Milton wasn't a robber. Mammies, you're lucky. You're lucky because you gave this man permission to take your girls. But as Murray Wilson said, they were such good girls that the mothers didn't even think about, okay, what are my daughters doing over there with the Eddie Kendricks, the Paul Williams, and the other dude, Cal, and Marvin. And to me, it's very good to know that the dude Milton, even though he was a pimp, you can't tell me that Milton wasn't selling pussy, okay? Because I'm going to say something else in here that's going to tell you Milton was not his pussy, but, the other lady's vagina. So when one of the girlfriends, blank, took the girls shopping, okay, they said for their first gig, they chose an outfit like Frankie Lyman. They wanted to have the Letterman sweater, like the little poofy skirts, whatever that style was for that time, because they wanted to seem, pristine and beautiful and elegant, but still childlike. Good job. They're at this gig, right? And it's being held by some local union, right? Murray Wilson is saying, we here with these uppity people, right? And she goes on to explain how these particular people thought that because they lost their accent, they may be well educated, they don't live in the projects, and they literally thought that they were better than the people that lived in the projects. They say that you never forget your first time at anything, and that's especially true of performing. I can remember this evening so vividly. Flo sang lead on Nighttime, Diane, There Goes My Baby, and I sang the ballads. We all did the twist. Everything came so naturally for me, and we all did well. We began to be popular around the Detroit area playing sock hops. These were dances organized by local disc jockeys where they played records and presented young local acts like us who didn't yet have an extensive repertoire of original material. Okay, what is we don't call them sock hops no more, guys. I don't know what you would call them because is it like here we call certain things like that cabarets, not here in Atlanta, but back home. Like, what do you call that now? Because they still go on, not now, during Corona, but you know what I'm saying? They still go on, but I just don't know the new name for them. If you know the new name for them, put them below. Now, this is what they say about the dude Milton, okay? They love Milton, okay? One, because Milton ain't trying to Robert them, okay? That's the first part, all right? Even though I'm like saying to myself, well, maybe Diane didn't look at Milton in that way, Maybe Diane wasn't that damn assertive till she went down there and started answering phones at the Motown. Milton would take them everywhere, okay? Anywhere. Milton was protection for the girls. And, the boys didn't need protection because if you can't fight, what the hell you here for, okay? But Milton took care of business for both groups. The Primettes needed them the most because they were girls and they were young. After a while, they started noticing, wait a minute, we ain't getting no money. Typical of a new group. But Mary looked at it as, okay, Milton has invested so much money into us, all right? Whatever money that we would get, it wouldn't come close to the amount of money that Milton has put out there for us, okay? So I'm glad that there is a celebrity finally admitting the fact that, okay, I didn't get jugged for my money in the beginning because I know that Milton put out so much money for us. It's basically like the money that he spent on us, he's getting repaid, okay? But you can't tell some of these performers. They be like, we was out there touring, and we ain't getting no money. That's because they gave you the money up front. Okay? Now, I ain't saying they ain't throw some of y'all in the trick bag, okay? Because the music business is full of the trick bag, okay? All I'm saying is some of y'all need to realize that it costs money to put y'all out there on the road. And if you ain't got no capital of your own, then it's got to come from somewhere, okay? Milton got them girls up there walking up and down the street in Hastings selling all their love and tenderness for y'all. Milton was always there beside us. He took his job of management very seriously, driving us to the gigs, protecting and guiding us. If we were ever paid for the performances, we never knew it. Besides, the money would have represented only a fraction of what Milton spent on us. Still, as the time passed, we became increasingly curious about what we had come to think of as Milton's secret life. He's selling pussy. Not his, but somebody else's. So right now the Primettes is doing pretty good, okay? Mary Wilson noted that, although people would sing on the street corners or in hallways or something like that, hoping to get discovered, that's something that the Primettes never had to do. And that was simply because Milton was management. Milton took them from, you, come here, and next thing you know, they on stage. We had never had to sing on street corners. The Primettes played real dates right from the beginning. After my mother purchased a new sewing machine on credit, the four of us decided that we could make more original stage costumes. Okay? Now, I'm saying to myself, okay, so they want to be different. They don't want to get their outfits from the store, anymore. They don't want to go out with Milton's hoes no more. They want to make their own clothes, right? So what Mary said was that they learned how to do it, and they started putting their outfits together, but already from the beginning. Diane started putting little trinkets here, a sequence here, a bow here, everywhere. She noticed that shit, okay? But she was like, I can't do all that. That's too much. I barely want to sew this damn dress, okay? Okay, I leave that to Diane. You do that, all right? But Diane was like that. She would do little things to stand out, including moving around the stage. Diane knew that moving around the stage would catch the eye of the audience. On one way, it's like you want to smack Diane in the mouth, but in the other way, it's like I admire her so much. Bruh, that is the game 101. You heard me? And Beyonce followed that motherfucker to a T. Flo, from the beginning, knew that the Primettes was her ticket out, okay? She did not think in her mind from the beginning, so I'm going to use the Primettes to get out of the Brewster Projects, and then I'm going to lead them bastards. No, that's not what Flo's inclination was. Flo was not like Diane in a way that Diane tried to single herself out, okay, and make herself the, belle of the ball. That wasn't her. She was there to make the Primettes as a whole win. If one win, we all got to win. We were still taking turns singing the lead on songs. and we were all good. But almost everyone who heard us agreed that Flo was the best. Her sound and style were very similar to Aretha Franklin's. She would attack each number with a passion that every audience responded to immediately. We were still singing other people's hits, but Flo was able to make any song her own. We weren't the only groups making a name. Several other groups we knew, like the Peppermints and Otis Williams and The Distance, were getting around. Melvin Franklin and Richard Street were members of The Distance, and like us, they were regulars on the sock hop circuit, though we didn't meet them until the night we shared a bill at the Gold Coast, a popular local club. Melvin came to see our group because he wanted to see Betty. For some reason, Betty didn't show up for this particular gig, but Melvin stayed to catch our act. His cousin, Richard Street, knew Diane from their days at McMichael's Elementary School. There seemed to be an empathy between Melvin and me. Even then, he was very spiritual. He had one of the deepest, huskiest voices I had ever heard. Richard had been playing in nightclubs since he was 13, and because he seemed so experienced, we all assumed that he was older, when in fact, he was one of the youngest in our crowd. So in this part right now, Murray Wilson is expressing the trials and tribulations of the blacks that headed north, okay? Some of the people that were in Detroit, already that were born and bred in Detroit, they're used to the fast life. They used to the shenanigans and things like that. They already have assimilated themselves to the northern life. Then you have people like those that were in the primes that came from places like Alabama, Melvin, from the Temptations and The Distance. They were still very country. You know what I'm saying? And when you are a country black person in those times, still, even up north, some people are so ignorant to the Southern life. They don't know no better, okay? So when they see a person from the South and when they experience that heavy accent, they just automatically assume that the South equates ignorance. And that's not true. Also, because Melvin was very, very dark and had bug eyes, he had tried to audition for something before, okay? And simply because he was very dark and had those bug eyes, the dude who they was auditioning for said, I can't have this big black bug-eyed mother. So without Richards and his own mother's encouragement, Melvin might have given up. Instead, he decided that he would one day be accepted in a great vocal group. And he knew that the only way he'd be accepted by the elites was to practice. So moving forward, as we got older, we came to view school as a mildly annoying necessity. On the positive side, it was a refuge from the group, which by now was taking up so much time and energy that we each felt an acute need for time alone. I can dig that. I need some space. Just a few months after the Primettes were formed, in the spring of 1959, Flo, Diane, and I graduated from the 8th grade. And I hadn't really thought much about what high school I would be attending until one of my teachers, Mr. Curley, suggested that I consider going to Commerce, where they taught business skills instead of Northeastern. Diane chose to attend Cass Technical High School, her father's alma mater, where she studied dress design and costume illustration. Mary says that my first day at Commerce brought me the shock of my life. There were hardly any boys there. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You mean to tell me that I am, in the midst of being boy crazy? I'm starting to feel myself. There might be some public hair on my vagina and under my arms, and there will be no boys. Oh no, I've made a grave mistake. Northeastern was further from my home, but I knew the kids there, and best of all, there would be boys. So, she didn't like that other school. That other school had too many uppity white children there, and she didn't like that. At Northeastern, of course, Flo is at Northeastern too, okay? Because, flow is rough, okay? Northeastern is rough. Not rough in the face, but don't mess with them ballads, okay? You don't want no piece of them ballads because there's 100 of them, okay? So you got Flo and Mary at Northeastern. They in the Glee Club. Both Flo and I were in the Glee Club, which we loved. However, once we started hanging around at Milton's, our instructor, Mrs. Bro, got upset. Not only were we missing rehearsals, but she felt that both of us should be studying opera. Because if the teacher is saying, no, y'all should be singing opera, one of the hardest genres to do. Not anybody can do that. You can't just go in the studio and flip on the auto-tune and sing in opera. No ma'am, no ham. That's what you can't do. You got to sing for real. When I wasn't thinking about singing, I was daydreaming about boys. Each of our mothers had decided that we were all too young at 15 to receive company. But when did that stop young love? It didn't stop me from having my first grown-up boyfriend, Arnett Webster, who was several years older than me and just out of the service. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe because it is so important to our success here on YouTube. Now, remember this, the same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves. Be safe and have a good one. Zoom.